degrees. Overnight, will drop down to about 46 as the clouds move back in. For the Fox 10 weather experts, I'm Corey McCloskey.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. At Mattress Firm's once-a-year sale and clearance, you can save up to 60% on select mattresses. Plus, score a free adjustable base on qualifying purchases. Here's to better sleep in 2024. The right mattress matters, and Mattress Firm will find yours.
Time for Arizona's only local sports gambling radio show. Take the Points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAC Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Your home for uncensored sports betting opinions, analysis, and advice. The guys have you covered for all the games. Now, take the Points on Fox Sports 910 and the iHeartRadio app.
2 more days of 2023. The last show of 2023 of Take the Points here on Fox Sports 910. Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're listening to this, iHeartRadio app or on the radio on Fox Sports 910 AM. I am Jackson Groff, no Mike Gross, no Mike Bauer. So you know what that happens when both of the older men come into town. Ben Garcia, host of the Ben Garcia Show, filled in yesterday for Jody Ayler, The Drive. 4 hours by yourself, Ben. 4 hours. Does that tell you how talented this man to my right is? 4 hours talking to no one but himself. How are you doing, my friend?
You know, I was thinking about this. First off, to your first point, yes, I am not second string. I'm not third string. I'm fourth string behind you, Mike Bauer, and Mike Gross, which is always a pleasure to be a part of.
Third time doing this?
I think it's third or fourth.
Third or fourth, okay.
I stopped counting after the second one. I stopped putting that plaque on the refrigerator when I got home. But, 4 hours by myself. You frame it as talent. I frame it as, wow, this guy does not know when to shut up.
Fair enough. Luckily, this is my show. I am the one here, so you have to listen to me. I'm just kidding. No, we're going to have fun. We're going to talk all things football. We got NFL. We've got a game today, an NFL game, the Lions-Cowboys. Marco D'Angelo from Wager Talk will be joining us at 12:30 from Vegas. He's going to talk Lions-Cowboys and Alabama-Michigan, probably the best 2 games of the weekend from the NFL side of things and from the college football side of things. We're going to talk about live updates on sports betting, whether it's the NFC, the AFC, the NFL awards. And we're also going to talk about Joe Flacco on Thursday because Joe Flacco's story has got to be one of the best stories in all of football right now. Would you not agree?
Yeah, I talked about it yesterday. It's one of the first things I opened up the drive with yesterday when I was filling in, but, it's insane. And it's not even just more so Joe Flacco, who I joked was raking leaves and cooking dinner for his family less than a month and a half ago, but it's more so the fact that, wow, I can't believe Joe Flacco has completely turned back the clock and made a renaissance for himself. And then Kevin Stefanski, who has now become the first Browns head coach to lead the team to multiple playoff berths since Marty Schottenheimer, who did it in 1985 to 1988 for 4 straight postseasons. I don't know what the line looks like in terms of coach of the year, but man, you could have bought low on Kevin Stefanski, who is on his 4th quarterback now, DTR, PJ Walker, who outplayed Brock Purdy, and who's the first? Deshaun Watson. How could I forget that atrocious contract? And then brings in Joe Flacco and leads them to another playoff appearance. It's insanity, and it's really cool what we've seen from Joe Flacco and the rest of the Browns crew.
Since Joe Flacco was on the Ravens, 2008 to 2018, he was on the Broncos for 1 year, Jets for 1 year, Eagles for 1 year, Jets for I guess a year and a half there, and then was a backup to Zach Wilson. Next thing you know, he's the starter for the Browns. But it's not only him for me. I think Amari Cooper's been looking great. I think David Njoku's starting to climb up in the tight end rankings.
Yes.
Also, I think Jerome Ford. That's the thing that surprised me most about this Browns team is the depth at running back. Kareem Hunt, Jerome Ford, no Nick Chubb. And they've got a really good defense. And you look at the odds right now, they're plus 1,800 to win the AFC. They're plus 3,500 to win the Super Bowl. And my friend, I put $10 on both those yesterday.
What would you, how much would it shock you? And I understand you put your own money where your mouth is here, but if the Browns made the Super Bowl with Joe Flacco, how surprised would you be?
Very surprised. Because now they're in a situation where they're the 5 seed. They've got to go on the road at the Ravens, his former team, and they got to beat Lamar there. So, and me and Shu had a debate about it yesterday. We were talking about, what other teams, like If Joe Flacco was on so-and-so team, would they be better than the Browns? So I'm going to ask you the same question. Joe Flacco was on the Vikings. Would that Vikings team be better than the Browns?
I don't know, because I look at the head coach, and Kevin O'Connell I think is awesome, but I think it's also just about fit for the Cleveland Browns. Like, I understand Joe Flacco is awesome, and I understand there's some people lobbying for him to be MVP now, because just anyone can be MVP if you have a couple of good games, but it's about what's around him. The offensive line is something that you didn't mention because it often goes overlooked. It's a really good offensive line anchored by guys like Joel Petonio on that line. The running game's been really good. Amari Cooper is obviously a number one. David Njoku, he's found a liking to him. And as well as a couple, Elijah Moore, I understand he's out now with likely a concussion. But it's just a good overall supporting group being anchored by a really good head coach. And if he was on, say, a team like the Vikings, their running backs aren't great. Their offensive line's average. Justin Jefferson is just a ton.
How about the Steelers?
Oh, yeah, the Steelers would be –
That's what I thought. Shu thought, again, he said to your point about coaching, he thought the Browns would still be better. But I think with T.J. Watt, with Minka Fitzpatrick on the defensive side of things, and even Pickens coming out of his own, the only thing with them is the receiver unit way worse probably than the Browns. But still, they can make it work there. But we're going to get into all that NFL talk throughout the show. Just a little teaser there. We're going to talk Cardinals-Eagles. Cardinals are a 12-point underdog against the Eagles. What do we want to see from this Cardinals team? Ugly, probably not going to win tomorrow, but you never know. It's the NFL. What do we want to see?
Did you say luckily?
Probably. Did I say luckily?
I think you said luckily they're probably not going to win tomorrow.
A lot of playoff scenarios to talk about, too. There's a bunch of games tomorrow. Either it's the Buccaneers-Saints, you've got the Dolphins-Ravens, Titans-Texans, Steelers-Seahawks, all these games, and the Packers-Vikings being the nightcap. We're going to talk about those games, too. But also, Ben, college football, bowl games. Our thoughts on the bowl season so far. Bowl games going on today, 10-10, the score between Ole Miss and Penn State. We're going to talk about the playoff, probably the most competitive playoff we've had in all of the tenure of the 4-team. We'll talk about that. We're going to talk about the NBA. The Suns got a win last night. The Big Three played last night. Bradley Beal played the whole game with no injury, Ben?
That's what sources say. Sources say he did come out of the game fully uninjured. It was a good game last night. I mean, that's exactly the way you want to see a Suns team play. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker taking over when they need to, but finding guys like EG in the corner or a Grayson Allen, who a lot of people hated, and I slammed the table for years to bring him to Phoenix. He's been great, and last night was a little bit of okay, everyone let's calm down. I know it's the Hornets, but let's see how they look on Sunday against the Magic.
Two things. One, do players play well when they're frustrated? Does Kevin Durant, after that rumor came out, and then for Eric Gordon, I want to score more, I'm pissed. Is that what happens in the NBA now? You get frustrated, you get whiny, and then you play absolutely berserk the next day?
In the NBA, it's a little different because, you can speak to this maybe whenever you played college football or really in any sport physically, you can turn that anger and just be physical, and you can kind of get away with being reckless if you're smart about it. In the NBA, I'm not so sure. You can't really force up shots. I think this is just a team that caught a break by getting a Rockets team that did not shoot the ball very well, and they got really hot outside of Jalen Green, who shot the ball really well. And then you go to the Hornets, who, again, aren't a very good team. Sometimes you just need to be able to beat up on some mediocre and then a really bad team to get yourself going for a game on Sunday like the Magic, who are a lot better this year, are a bigger team, and if they win that game, then you have 3 games in a row that you've won, and you could start to get on a little. It's all about kind of playing with house money, and this team now is kind of playing with a little bit of house money. No one is really expecting anything from them for the past couple of games, so I don't know if it's the emotion aspect. I think it's just more so they got a little bit healthier, and they're on a roll.
My second question, why does every point guard or shooting guard shoot for 40 to 50 points in footprint? I mean, you've got Jalen Brunson a couple weeks ago. You had Luka, and then Terry Rozier 2 points away from his career high. Why does that? 8 of 12 last night, 14 of 22 shooting. Terry Rozier, I mean, have yourself a night, my friend. But it's just crazy. Every single game, you think against average teams, one of these players starts to pop off.
Yeah, I don't know if it's more so a footprint problem like I wish it was. I seriously wish it was just a footprint problem because then we could just point to that. It's the lack of defense, and you heard Bradley Beal last night. Our defense was kind of awful. I'm paraphrasing, of course, because we're a PG show, but he came on and said, it's a little awful, and it looked better last night, and it has for the last 2 games. However, giving up 119 points to a team that is 3-12 on the road and 7-23 overall, it's not good, and that's something Frank Vogel needs to fix. I explained this yesterday on the drive, how we know if a coach can coach is if he gets his side of the ball correct. We've seen JG with the Cardinals. He gets side of the ball correct. Right now, Frank Vogel, I don't know how well of a coach he is overall, is he cannot get his side of the ball correct, although he has been better about it the past 2 games.
And then you look at the Suns. Some highlights here. I think one of the highlights so far through these 31 games, it's Yusuf Nurkic. This guy, 15 rebounds last night, 24 points. Things that he's doing that we never saw DeAndre Ayton do. I think that's a plus. Grayson Allen, Eric Gordon. So you look back at that Ayton trade right now. Where do you sit on that?
Yes, some people are upset about the Ayton trade still. I don't get it. I talked yesterday about fake outrage as well. You're not upset that they traded DeAndre Ayton. You're upset that what they got for DeAndre Ayton because for some reason Suns fans thought his value was more than it actually was. Grayson Allen has been in better than DeAndre. Just Grayson Allen on his own has been better than DeAndre Ayton this year. Yusuf Nurkic, he's not that much better, if at all, defensively than DeAndre Ayton. He's got a little bit of slow feet issue, but he does 95% of what DeAndre Ayton was doing for half the cost, and he's been a lot better the past couple of games. So, yes, it was a slam dunk trade for the Suns. Maybe they could have gotten a little bit more, but they waited too long to trade him. He had a really bad contract, and this is what you get out of it. And Yusuf Nurkic's been good, and regardless of what people say about it, they need to understand that they were never getting an all-star player for DeAndre Ayton, and it's been good for Yusuf Nurkic.
And the best part, he's healthy. Him, Kevin Durant, knock on wood, have been healthy. He had 24 points. Durant, off night for him, 21. Off night for him, 21 points. Kind of crazy to say. Devin Booker at 35 too. But my biggest thing when I look at the Suns team is Grayson Allen. Because last year, when you saw Kevin Durant on the court, you saw CP3 on the court, you saw Booker on the court, the corner 3, the wing 3 was wide open. And you were relying on guys like Josh Okogie, Damian Lee, and Torrey Craig to make those threes. Now you're relying on guys like Grayson Allen, Eric Gordon, and last night maybe a little bit of Mitu who made one too. So it's cool to see more upper talent in those situations when you got a bunch of all-stars on the court that can make those wide open threes.
Yeah, and it's one of those things like with Bradley Beal, people will say, "Oh, Bradley Beal doesn't solve the yes, Bradley Beal solves a lot of issues. Maybe not defensively, which a lot of that is just effort, but if Bradley Beal is getting wide open threes, this guy averaged 30 points a game at one point. That is going to open up everything. And people have to remember when Bradley Beal comes back, Grayson Allen is not the 3rd best option offensively. He now moves to the 4th. Eric Gordon moves to the 5th. And Bradley Beal slots. It just makes everyone's life easier. So, again, defensively they have issues. Offensively, I would say, it's going to get better, and better days are ahead for the Suns.
All right, coming up next, we're going to talk more Suns, more NBA. But first, we're going to talk the bowl games going on today. We're going to talk New Year's 6 bowl games. We won't get into the CFP. That'll be our next segment following that. But we're going to get into Ole Miss, Penn State, the games happening today and early games on Monday. Here, you're listening to Take the Points, the only in Arizona. We'll be right back. We'll be right back right after this break.
Take the Points, powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona, continues next on Fox Sports 910 and the free iHeartRadio app.
Hey, it's Jax from the Rocket Minutes with Jimmy B. Showed her weekdays.
Jax on the promo.
Family, the happiest of New Year. We'll be back on Tuesday at the Barrio Queen in Tempe. Happy New Year's from all of us here at Fox Sports 910.
Got the urge to pick games each week? Thursday, Sunday, even Mondays? Then sign up now for the Twin Peaks Fan Pick'em, courtesy of Blue Moon and Coors Light. It's totally free to play. Head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com.
Have you been arrested for something you didn't do? When your liberty is on the line, you need an aggressive, experienced attorney to defend your rights. Lerner & Rowe Law Group is the firm you can trust with your freedom. Our criminal defense attorneys have represented thousands of clients across the state. And with our affordable payment plans, you can get the defense you need immediately. If you've been wrongly charged with a crime, time is not on your side. Call Lerner & Rowe today for a free consultation. We're available to help you 24/7.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900. Arizona's largest locally owned A-plus BBB rated towing company is All City Towing. They're always looking to add motivated and competitive team members. Do you fit the bill? If so, head on over to allcitytowing.com/careers for more information.
Do more together this holiday in a new Chevy. Take on more adventure in the strong and capable Chevy Silverado. More confidence in the Chevy Equinox, winner of the J.D. Power Award for initial quality among compact SUVs 2 years running. And more value in the all-new Chevy Trax with an available 11-inch diagonal touchscreen. Bring the holidays together in a new Chevy. See your Valley Chevy dealers. For J.D. Power 2023 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Hey, Rocket Manooch with Jimmy B continue to grow as they now have their own secret football menu with special pricing at BKD's Backyard Joint in Chandler. Every Sunday after 3 p.m., just ask for the Rocket Manooch with Jimmy B football menu and get special pricing. That's BKD's Backyard Joint, located at Pecos and the Queen in Chandler.
A will to win is important, but preparing to win is essential. At Crest Insurance, we understand that the road to success is not one that you go alone. Whether it's your family or business, you're not buying insurance, you're buying protection. That's why so many turn to the professionals at Crest Insurance. Our team has the experience to help you safeguard the things that matter most. It's not just an insurance policy, it's peace of mind.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, #SexyRoofStatus. All of our work using state-of-the-art materials and 5-star workmanship. Our inspections are free. You heard me? Free. Go to state48roofing.com to schedule your free appointment today.
Get ready for double the fun on the 101. Introducing the Salt River Rewards Program at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort, the Valley's newest and best. With multiple tiers and endless benefits, we've got something for everyone. Don't miss out on the excitement. Salt River Rewards, the Valley's premier player rewards program, now at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. 2 properties, 1 amazing club, offering limitless fun on the one.
Catering. We can cater for just a few or a few hundred.
That's right, Dominic. Ordering for your holiday party is easy at Venezia's. We'll work with you and develop a menu that can include pizza, pasta, salads, and even stromboli. We serve authentic Italian food using only the freshest ingredients. It's food that will leave everyone begging for more.
Holiday catering from Venezia's. Check out our catering menu at venezias.com.
Boost Mobile is giving families the holiday gift they really want. When you switch to Boost, you get an iPhone 11 for only $49.99 or a free Samsung Galaxy A23. You get amazing service too, because only Boost switches between the top networks to give you the best service. So stop by a Boost Mobile store and give the gift of Boost. That's an iPhone 11 for $49.99 or a free Samsung Galaxy A23. Get yours at a Boost Mobile store today. Visit boostmobile.com for details. New customers and in-store only. Requires autopay and ID verification. Other restrictions apply. See participating dealers for details.
The human soul has a minimum daily requirement of entertainment. But listening to the radio? Yeah, that doesn't count. Welcome to the world of MGM Rewards, where we have the greatest live shows on earth, the biggest names in sports, the best chefs on the planet, and the most unforgettable nights of your life. This is way beyond.
Dude, Kyler's playing for Minnesota next year.
This is all the entertainment you can handle and more. So join.
Dude, why am I crazy?
And visit MGMResorts.com to book your next Vegas getaway.
Nice.
Welcome to the show.
Kyler's not that great. He's beaten the Rams one time. Good for him. You're live.
Welcome back. Take the Points. Only sports gambling show here live at the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. The CAZ Sports Bar. You've got a bunch of screens. College basketball starting to make their way on the screens here, Ben. You know what that means. March Madness, Final Four here. That will be coming in March, April. Can't wait for that. You've got all the betting lines. They update them every second. You've got the games. You've got kiosks. You can come over there and bet. Ben, I don't know if you're much of a bettor. Would you rather go to the kiosk and bet privately by yourself, or go up to one of those lovely guys over there, maybe submit your picks over there, so that way you're all set to go?
Now, it depends how much I'm wagering. If I'm like trying to be like a baller and walk up with
$1 or $10.
Yeah, if I'm just like, $5 or $10, I'm being safe, I'm being responsible, but I want to have a little fun, I'm doing it at the kiosk, so the kiosk can't judge me. But if I'm doing it at the guy and I have like $150, I'm just like $150 and the Cardinals to cover plus 12. Like, that's a baller move. Like, I want someone to see that. at the very minimum, if I lose my bet, at least I look like a baller doing it.
That'd be the toughest part as a worker here at CAZ Sportsbook, and we wish everyone a happy New Year's that works here and all the support and love that they've showed us throughout the couple years. But the hardest part for me, what if someone walked up there and just said, "Hey, I got $100 or I got $1,000 or whatever amount. I'm going to put on Florida State money line." And then how do you not make a face when someone tells you Florida State money line against Georgia?
Well, it's because they know something. They went in there and they know Georgia
It could scare me. What do you know that I don't know?
Exactly. or it's the Diamondbacks in the playoffs. They don't know what they don't know, and they're just out there having some fun.
Well, yeah, we'll get into baseball talk too, because I know you're a big baseball guy. But
Huge.
We're going to talk about bowl games going on today. 11 Ole Miss against 10 Penn State. Ben, I've got the sheets right here with the odds live from the CAZ Sportsbook. They're up 13-10 right now. Penn State was a 4.5-point favorite. The money line was minus 185 for them, 155 plus money for Ole Miss, and they're currently on the 37-yard line of Mississippi, driving in right now. But Jackson Dart, 148 yards, 1 touchdown. They're looking good. I call this the Little Brothers Bowl because both Ole Miss, the little brother of the SEC, versus Penn State, the little brother of the Big Ten. Can they get over the edge? And every year we always see this, 2 losses, they get a good edge coming in. But I'm telling you right now, Ole Miss did well in the recruiting, did well in the transfer portal. They got Jackson Dart coming back. That might be a team to look out for as a dark horse in the SEC next year.
Yeah, I think with Ole Miss, you kind of say the little brother that could. They will almost always be the little brother that could in the SEC.
No divisions next year, too.
Exactly. So I think for me, it's Penn State. Like every year, we always buy in, and they're a really physical team. They always lack the star power that the other teams have in Ohio State and Michigan. But every year, we're like, oh, this team's going to finally crack the college football playoff this year. And every year they go 10-0 against unranked opponents. And then they play Michigan. They play Michigan State, who is every other year is ranked. They play Ohio State. And it almost seems like even if they play it at home, they lose those games. So very interesting to be watching. However, their quarterback, Drew Aller, not great right now. 4 for 12, 101 yards, 1 pick, and a touchdown.
He's so up and down, man. It's weird to find out. I get he's a freshman. His first year reminds me a lot of Jackson Dart's first year. Reminds me a lot of Quinn Ewers' first year. I think year 2 with the new offensive coordinator coming in. That's one thing that makes me mad about this Penn State team is they don't really utilize their best weapons, which is their running backs. Katron Allen, 45 rushing yards already. Nicholas Singleton, 33 yards. So if they can be able to use those guys in space, and they got no wide receivers. Get you some wide receivers, Penn State. But that's another – we talked about before, like the best stories, the best events that happened in college football. One of those being the conference realignment, but another one being no divisions. Like the Big Ten next year, SEC next year with no divisions is going to be really fun to watch.
Isn't that how it should be, though?
It might be 4 teams out. It might be 5 out of each in the next year's playoffs.
Yeah, that's kind of what I feel. It's just like, should there even be divisions anymore? If we're just going to go straight conference realignment and we're going to have the Big Ten, the SEC, and then everyone else, I mean, just at least give me the best teams every year. Don't make it a 2 separate conferences where I can't have Michigan and Ohio State in the conference championship game. Just put the best teams in. It's going to continue to help with an entertainment factor because I don't want to watch this year Michigan and Iowa in the conference championship game. If I do, I promise you I'm going to get the nearest fork and take out my eyeballs. That's how terrible that is.
You don't want to watch Deacon Hill at quarterback and the best punter in football, Torrey Taylor?
No, and I'm slamming the under on their points every single game that the Iowa Hawkeyes
Oh, my gosh. Well, hopefully they can turn around because their defense has been insane the last 2 years. They just have not had
It's been insane for the last decade.
Yeah, let's get ourselves a quarterback there. But 12 p.m. Music City Bowl, Auburn between Maryland. Speaking of the SEC versus the Big Ten, that's another matchup there. Peyton Thorne from Auburn, no Talia Tagovailoa, so he was going to go to the draft. So that'll be a fun game to watch at 12. But we get into the New Year's 6 again, Ben, 2 p.m. We talked about it at the beginning of the segment, 6 Georgia versus 5 Florida State. It's now a 21-point spread in favor of Georgia. Carson Beck's playing. He's not going to the draft, staying another year. I like that out of Carson Beck. Great year out of him. Brock Bowers is going to the draft. Ladd McConkey will be playing in this game. It's so tough keeping track of opt-outs and transfers and who's not playing in bowl games. But speaking of opt-outs in NFL draft, Florida State's got a ton of guys not playing. Oh, yeah, Brock Glenn, second start, I should say. Yeah, have fun against Georgia. Yikes, as a true freshman.
Yeah, and so that's something where Florida State's been the punching bag for, I won't go on a tangent, but I will say this. Florida State, I know you and I disagree here. Florida State absolutely should have been in the top 4. I understand that it doesn't go by most deserving because, as Jody Ayler says every week, college football, it's a rigged carnival game. They're going to change the criteria so they can get whatever teams that they can get in manageably. Obviously, they can't just go completely off script. But Florida State should have been in, and they're going to get completely embarrassed against Georgia. And people are going to point to this and say, including all the big media and all the big talking heads, they're going to be a punching bag again because Ron DeSantis, tried to win more votes by going out there and suing the College Football Playoff Committee. And they're going to have, 20 guys not in this game?
Yeah.
I thought I saw 20 guys are sitting out of the Orange Bowl later on today, and they're going to lose that game, and people are going to point to them, and they're going to say, oh, see, I told you, they shouldn't be in the – okay, well, they're missing 20 guys along with their starting quarterback, which people touted the drum for this entire time. So it's going to be tough sledding for Florida State in this game, and it's going to be tough sledding tomorrow and on Monday with the media where people are just going to rag on them and completely leave out the fact that there's 20 dudes not playing for Florida State. I'm curious your take on that.
Yeah, I mean, well, first off, for the playoff, I think Alabama deserved to be in.
That's fine. Because
fine. I think when you beat a team like Georgia, people say, oh, the 29 wins or, oh, the 2-time national champions. Like, that's not the team that they're in. I disagree. It's kind of like how you beat Alabama when, they're always the national champions. They're all the powerhouse. It's the same thing with Georgia. So I think them beating them and what we saw at Bama at the beginning of the year and Jalen Miller up to now, if Jordan Travis was there, I get it. But I also think to play a point, too, how they played against Louisville with even Tater Rodemaker, he was out, but their backup quarterback was in, barely beating them, I think is definitely a concern. But regardless, that's the point. That was way long ago. But in terms of this game, look at these money lines. Georgia money line, minus 1,050. You got to bet $1,050, Ben, to win 100 on Georgia. I don't even feel comfortable betting 1,000.
Wait a second. Read that line for me.
You got to bet 1,000. So, folks out there, minus 1,050. I'll give you a little sports betting 101 here. So, if it's minus money, minus 1,050, you have to bet that much money to win $100.
Okay, so I would be curious to know the history of that line and if it is indeed the largest favorite in Orange Bowl history. Like, this is a 6 bowl. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The Orange Bowl, Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, Cotton Bowl. I don't need to explain it all to you. Is that the I don't know if you know this, but is that the heaviest favorite in college football New Year's 6 bowl history? Not even just the Orange Bowl.
It's got to be because most of those heavy betting, it'd be like if Georgia was playing like Delaware. You would see a line like this, probably more. But on the other side of things, Florida State plus 705. You put $100 down, and they win. You win $705. You put $10 down, you win $70.
Yeah, you know what I would do with that $10 though?
You could buy a Chipotle.
I could get a Chipotle burrito bowl over the fact than just losing it and watching Florida State struggle with Georgia. But listen, unless the gods smiled on me and I put on that's 7 Chipotle bowls. For those that don't understand, I think of life at Chipotle bowls. That's how poor I am when it comes to the fact where I think of $10 like that.
Always very good. Lastly, 2:30, you've got Toledo and Wyoming in the Barstool Arizona Bowl. So we played on the CW Network / Barstool TV. Wyoming, back-to-back games, back-to-back years, I should say, in the Arizona Bowl. They lost to Ohio last year. They faced Toledo. Wyoming, kind of a dark horse team in the Mountain West. They had a really good start this year against Texas Tech. They played Texas well. I like Wyoming in this one, minus 4.5. That's kind of my little sneaky pick of the day. But I don't know if you know much about MAC or Mountain West football. Anything surprise you or you want to talk about here? Maybe the mascots are pretty cool. Rockets versus the Cowboys.
Yeah, there is something that surprised me with this game. It's the fact that you understood both of these teams to be able to break it down for a 30-second.
I'm going to
go ahead and throw that one to you. Who are we picking in this game?
Wyoming.
All right, Wyoming. Oh, I am sticking on Wyoming. I'm jumping on the bandwagon.
Wyoming.
Big Josh Allen fan.
Oh, my gosh. And those are the Saturday games, and I know we didn't get into the other Monday CFP games. We're going to do that in the second hour. But next, we're going to talk Cardinals-Eagles. What do we want to expect from this Cardinals team? What do we expect from this Eagles team? We're going to assess both seasons from both sides and what does the offseason look like for the Arizona Cardinals. That's next. You're listening to 910.
Back to Take the Points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAC Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Exclusively on Fox Sports 910.
Got the urge to pick games each week? Thursday, Sunday, even Mondays? Then sign up now for the Twin Peaks Fan Pick'em, courtesy of Blue Moon and Coors Light. It's totally free to play. Head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com.
Let the experts at Level 5 Lighting, all-in-one exterior permanent LED lighting, brighten up your world. Level 5 lights work with Alexa, Google Home, and Control4 smart home systems, so lighting up your home for any holidays, sporting events, security, or accent lighting has never been brighter. Calling sports enthusiasts. Get ready for your favorite game day. Get your lights installed with this month's special. 12 months, no interest financing if you qualify. Go to level5lighting.com to request a free quote. That's level5lighting.com. Level 5 Lighting, Arizona's outdoor LED experts.
Any car dealer in Arizona can compete on price. That's what dealers do, but not many dealers can compete on customer satisfaction. Like Wright Toyota. Make the right choice. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and online at wrighttoyota.com.
When it comes to insurance, we don't focus on the competition. We focus on our customers. At Crest Insurance Group, customer service is not what we do, but who we are. Now more than ever, businesses and families are turning to knowledgeable partners to help provide them with the insurance coverages they need. We've worked hard to become one of the country's top independent agencies, and our clients benefit from our vision, experience, and outstanding service. Contact Crest and let our insurance professionals tell you what they see. You'll be glad you did.
Frankie drives end-to-end, scoops it up and in with 2 seconds left. Frankie Collins end-to-end.
Join the action this season and catch USC, UCLA, Washington, and Arizona when they come to Desert Financial Arena in the final year of the Pac-12 Conference.
Collins over to Lance for 3. Bullseye!
Get your tickets today by calling 480-965-5812 or go online to sundeviltickets.com. Sun Devil Men's Basketball. Onward to victory.
What's up, guys? Jason Payne, owner of State 48 Roofing. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook. Hashtag sexy roof status. At State 48 Roofing, we are family owned and operated, born and raised in Arizona. We'd love to give back to our schools and community. Contact us at state48roofing.com.
You may not have any experience dealing with car wrecks, but Lerner & Rowe does. After your car wreck, you need an attorney to make sure your interests, like car repairs, medical bills, and lost wages, are protected. Finding the right attorney is actually easy. Just look for reputation, experience, and results. Lerner & Rowe has thousands of 5-star reviews, decades of experience, and we've recovered billions of dollars for our injured clients. Hurt in a wreck and need a check? Call Lerner & Rowe today.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Get ready for double the fun on the 101. Introducing the Salt River Rewards Program at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort, the Valley's newest and best. With multiple tiers and endless benefits, we've got something for everyone. Don't miss out on the excitement. Salt River Rewards, the Valley's premier player rewards program, now at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. 2 properties, 1 amazing club, offering limitless fun on the 101. Discover the best in the Valley at saltriverrewards.com.
Rocket Manooch with Jimmy B continue to grow as they now have their own secret football menu with special pricing at BKD's Backyard Joint in Chandler. Every Sunday after 3 p.m., just ask for the Rocket Manooch with Jimmy B football menu and get special pricing. That's BKD's Backyard Joint, located at Pecos and McQueen in Chandler.
For 25 years, Lovesac has been rewriting the rules of comfort and empowering customers to live life on their terms. This holiday season, change your mind and your style. From the endless adaptability of sectionals to the cloud-like comfort of a sack, Lovesac provides peace of mind where other furniture can't. Lovesac will always fit your space and your needs, no matter where life takes you. Visit lovesac.com or a showroom near you to learn more and shop exciting holiday offers. That's LOVESAC.com for more details and to find a showroom near you.
We're Brown here with Accident Law Group. If you were hurt in an accident, find us on the web at accidentlawgroup.com.
I'm Sarah Kustak, NBA analyst for the Brooklyn Nets, and my podcast, NBA Pulse with Sarah Kustak, is back.
The Denver Nuggets can finally call themselves NBA champions.
Yeah, buddy.
Every Monday and Friday, I'll be joined by a top NBA writer to discuss the biggest stories in the league. And we'll do it in about 15 minutes, so you can stay up to date and keep it moving. Check out NBA Pulse with Sarah Kustak on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Back to Take the Points, powered by the Sportsbook at CAC Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Exclusive
quiet.
On Fox Sports 910.
You're live.
Welcome back. Take the Points, Fox Sports 910, live from the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. And I teased before the break, Ben. We're going to talk Arizona Cardinals. 3-12. I think the total wins this season for them was 3.5. Kind of a crazy line there from the folks there in Vegas. But you'll get the injury report right now. Kyler Murray questionable with an illness. Leke Fotu injured reserve. Hollywood Brown injured reserve. Jonathan Ledbetter injured reserve. I'm going to keep going on this injured reserve train. I can go all day. I've got about 30 names here all in injured reserve.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the Arizona Cardinals are on like their 7th string linebacker at this point. I think Josh Woods is out at this point as well. It's going to be, it's funny, and you kind of brought up the line for, I believe you said the line where it's plus 12. That still looks absolutely attainable for the Arizona Cardinals because Kyler Murray is going to play in that game. Jonathan Gann said early in the week he doesn't think it'll affect his game status. The defensive backs for the Philadelphia Eagles are dreadful. I mean, it is just abysmal for what they're dealing with James Bradbury, which at one point was linked to the Arizona Cardinals. The Philly defense in 2022 was 5th in yards allowed passing with Jonathan Gannon. In 2023, they're 25th in passing yards allowed. You think they missed Jonathan Gannon because James Bradbury, who looked like prime Darrelle Revis last year, has now turned into prime Marco Wilson. So it's really, that is something with the Arizona Cardinals with a capable quarterback, even with bad weapons, can cover the spread of plus 12, and I'd be hammering that if I was an Arizona Cardinal fan.
Yeah, and that's where I hope they can get the wide receiver involved. I hope Greg Dortch gets to start. I've been saying this all year. I mean, this guy's phenomenal. I mean, his quickness, his elusiveness, that touchdown he had against the Bears was unbelievable. This is a guy that grinds day in and day out, deserves more, and that's one of his favorite targets too. We've seen that, like the game against the Raiders last year. Greg Dortch had about like 10 catches, and then this year Trey McBride's his best. And I think that's something positive. You look at this Cardinals team when you look at the whole season in general, is you've got a superstar in the making, being Trey McBride at the tight end position that's starting to become kind of a viable position in most offenses. You got the Travis Kelce's, the David Njoku's. You've got Dallas Goedert even playing a role there in the Eagles. But I throw to you, Ben, Trey McBride, is that your offensive MVP for the Arizona Cardinals?
Yeah, I don't think it's close either. But with Trey McBride, if he turns into, let's just say what it is. He already has been this season. But if Trey McBride turns into a top 5 tight end, and he is right now, unequivocally, currently, he's a top 5 tight end, and he stays that way, that is a position that still doesn't make a ton of money that you can pay. Travis Kelce makes $12 million a year. Obviously, that number is going to go up. If you pay Trey McBride $14 million a year, when you could be paying a wide receiver, Christian Kirk makes $20 million a year. You think that the Jags would rather have Christian Kirk or Trey McBride at the price? You'd obviously rather have Trey McBride, and so it's another key position that doesn't make a ton of money that you can put money towards that and have more money to allocate towards. If you want to have a premium running back, you can. And if you want to have a premium wide receiver or two, you can do that. T. Higgins available in the offseason. Maybe Mike Evans available in the offseason. Like Trey McBride, that is one of the things that is kind of going overlooked with him, is not only is he playing really well, but his position makes almost no money. So, yeah, I think Trey McBride, offensive MVP, obviously, and it could be a staple for the Arizona Cardinals going forward.
$50 million in cap in the offseason. It's going to be interesting to see what they do. I mean, I think they got to attack the wide receiver market, get yourself a veteran wide receiver, and kind of play the fact, like you mentioned, the Kansas City Chiefs with Travis Kelce when they had Tyreek back in the day. Like, when you have a tight end in the middle that's effective, I mean, that opens up everything. Like, just like how you run the ball a lot, it opens up the pass. The power run the pass a lot, opens up the run. You got to tighten up the middle. It's going to open up more one-on-one opportunities on the outside for speedy guys. Could Hollywood Brown be that guy? I don't know. That's another question in the offseason. Are they going to re-sign him? Are they going to maybe sign him for like cheaper money? Or do they get guys in the draft? We heard T. Higgins. Maybe he might be a guy in the market. Do they spend that money to get a young wide receiver in T. Higgins? Marvin Harrison Jr. in the draft. Those are big guys on the outside. But, I mean, I heard the other day $50 million in cap, and I had to like refresh my screen a bunch of times with Kyler Murray's contract. $50 million in cap. You can do a lot. That's 8th, I believe, in the NFL.
Yes, let me ask you this. When Christian Kirk's contract first came out, and I'm phrasing this for the Hollywood Brown conversation, and I already mentioned him once. Christian Kirk, $20 million a year is basically what he got. Would you give Hollywood Brown the same contract Christian Kirk got?
No.
Okay, you wouldn't.
No.
Because at the beginning of the season, that's what it was phrased as. Hollywood Brown, a faster Christian Kirk, a possession receiver. Obviously, Kirk has better hands. I feel like I don't need to explain that to anyone. So now you have to figure it out. The wide receiver money keeps on going up. A really hard conversation for Monty Austin for it is, what is Hollywood Brown going to get? Is it $10 million a year? Is it $12 million a year? I understand that you and I aren't both NFL GMs unless we're playing Madden and we're building a franchise mode. But is there a number that you feel comfortable with bringing Hollywood Brown back? Because it's not just bringing him back. It's keeping Kyler Murray happy, which you want to do with your quarterback. You want to throw him a bone. So is there a number that you would pay Hollywood Brown or something that makes you feel better about Hollywood Brown coming back as a Cardinal next season?
I mean, shoot, I'm trying to compare to other wide receivers, and this might seem low, but I would say probably around the 5 to 8 range.
So from what I've seen as well is maybe a one-year deal, $10 million, prove it. Or, an $8 million long-term deal.
I'm just thinking about how much Odell made, too. And I get Odell more hyped, coming off
$16 million, I think he made this year.
Yeah, I think he made $16 million. But it's just, I don't know. He's a guy that's interesting, but also the relationship with Kyler Murray. I even joked on the show yesterday. I'm like, maybe you try to rebuild Kyler Murray's contract and threaten the fact that, hey, if you restructure your contract, we'll bring back your buddy. Jokingly, but we'll see what happens. But regardless, let's talk about the game, Cardinals-Eagles.
Just really quickly.
Oh, yeah.
That is entirely very smart. I never thought about that. Kyler Murray, you want to bring back your buddy? Restructure your deal a little bit, and we'll bring back your buddy. You want him back that badly?
Yeah.
Restructure your deal.
Restructure your deal.
Not crazy.
$1 million. We'll put an extra $1 million towards him if you restructure.
Yeah, not crazy, but would you restructure your deal a little bit to help bring back your buddy? That is actually something I didn't think of. Sorry, continue.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Once in a while, I have a good thought.
Exactly.
Cardinals, Eagles. Let's go to the other side of it. Eagles, -12. Up and down season, they had one of the hardest stretches of football. They had the Bills. They had the Chiefs. They had the Cowboys. What are your thoughts about this Eagles team right now? Jalen Hurts, been kind of banged up, looked healthier. Running game is so up and down for me. Don't know how to think about it. No, the tush-push, still their bread and butter.
Yeah, with the Philadelphia Eagles, I mentioned it before, how bad that their defense has been passing the ball. Stopping the run, they've been pretty good, which doesn't bode well for the Arizona Cardinals because James Conner, you mentioned their bread and butter. That's pretty much what they lean on is the run game and been one of the better rushing teams in the NFL. The Philly team, they can still get to the passer, although 70 sacks last year, 40 sacks so far this year with 2 games left to go. They might tee off in the Arizona Cardinals and get to 70 sacks on the year, given the fact that their offensive line is just that bad. But with Philly, I think it more so just comes down to the fact where people say, you're bringing a knife to a gunfight. The Cardinals are bringing a plastic knife to a bazooka fight when it comes to just star power. The Eagles, I expect them to win this game. I expect them to not cover because I don't think that they're the same team that they were last year, obviously. But winning by a score on the road, it's just too much. The star power is too much. You're in the Lincoln Financial Field in Philly. The Cardinals historically don't play well in the early window. For all those reasons, I'm out on the Cardinals being able to win this game, but I like them to cover the spread. How about yourself?
I'm going to say they cover, but 12 points is so much, man.
It's a lot of points.
The spread, again, for those watching on Christmas Day, the underdog on the spread won all 3. The Raiders obviously won outright. They were 10.5-point underdog. Giants covered their 13.5, and then the Ravens covered their 6.5. So in the NFL, I think anyone can play anybody on any given day. You wonder the effort level from the Arizona Cardinals, or the Philadelphia Eagles, and that. But real quickly, looking at the playoff picture for the Eagles. Eagles are the 2 seed right now, and the Cowboys are on their heel -1 game. If it was the playoffs today, they would be playing the Los Angeles Rams. The Los Angeles Rams. I would not want to play the Los Angeles Rams.
And I would take the Los Angeles Rams to win that game. Stafford is carving them up right now. And again, that Eagles pass defense, Darius Slay should be back by the playoffs, but he just had arthroscopic knee surgery. He's still kind of banged up. And James Bradbury, I've mentioned it a million times, he's not good. He has been burnt toast this year.
Speaking of the NFL playoff picture, next segment, we're going to get into the NFL playoff odds. What do the sportsbooks think? Who do the sportsbooks think are going to make the playoffs? We're also going to get into the NFL season award odds, the MVP, the Coach of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, all of that and more. Thanks for points on a Saturday. Happy New Year. We'll be right back.
Take the points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona continues next on Fox Sports 910 and the free iHeartRadio app.
Check this out.
This is The Herd.
You're excited. I'm excited.
With Colin Cowherd.
Robert Saleh also reiterated he's not going to play, which Aaron reiterated yesterday. he's not going to play. So if you can't win games, let's try to win PR. You know what's interesting about this? You know, tore his Achilles, Kirk Cousins. And you haven't heard a word.
This is The Herd. Monday at 10. Tell your smart speaker to play Fox Sports 910.
Get ready for double the fun on the 101. Introducing the Salt River Rewards Program at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort, the Valley's newest and best. With multiple tiers and endless benefits, we've got something for everyone. Don't miss out on the excitement. Salt River Rewards, the Valley's premier player rewards program, now at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. 2 properties, 1 amazing club, offering limitless fun on the 101. Discover the best in the Valley at saltriverrewards.com.
Got the urge to pick games each week? Thursday, Sunday, even Mondays? Then sign up now for the Twin Peaks Fan Pick'em, courtesy of Blue Moon and Coors Light. It's totally free to play. Head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com.
Choosing the right lawyer after a car wreck is important. You need to consider the law firm's experience, results, and reputation. Lerner Rowe stands above other law firms when it comes to experience and results, helping over 150,000 people recover billions of dollars for their injuries. When it comes to reputation, we have thousands of 5-star reviews, and year after year, we have been voted best personal injury law firm in Arizona. Call us today and let us put our experience, proven results, and reputation to work for you.
Lerner Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Let the experts at Level 5 Lighting, all-in-one exterior permanent LED lighting, brighten up your world. Take advantage of this month's special offer, 12 months of no-interest financing. For details, go to level5lighting.com to request a free quote. That's level5lighting.com.
Do more together this holiday in a new Chevy. Take on more adventure in the strong and capable Chevy Silverado. More confidence in the Chevy Equinox, winner of the J.D. Power Award for initial quality among compact SUVs 2 years running. And more value in the all-new Chevy Trax with an available 11-inch diagonal touchscreen. Bring the holidays together. You better. Chevy. See your Valley Chevy dealers. For J.D. Power 2023 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Rockin'
Jay Stroud's been fucking hurt. Fuck that
They
guy.
now have their own secret football menu with special.
Win is important, but prepare.
Actually, Puka's plus 500. I might pop some money on that.
And that the road to success is not one that you go alone. Whether it's your family or business, you're not buying insurance, you're buying protection.
Puka breaks the record.
Our team has the experience to help you safeguard the things that matter most.
Like 150-ish yards.
Insurance policy, it's peace of mind.
Come chill and get your fill at Arena Sports Grill. Arena Sports Grill is your home for Nebraska Cornhusker football and the National Football League. Watch all your favorite sports, plus off-track wagering with the ponies. Arena even caters to the night owls with breakfast on the weekends till 2. NFL Mondays and Thursdays are packed with happy hour specials daily till 7 and other incredible drink and food specials. It's Arena Sports Grill, 64th Street in Bell, North Scottsdale's friendly sports bar since 1998.
Denise has been playing jazz for 40 years. Last concert, one of the musicians fell sick with RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV.
Y'all gotta work out more if you don't like tight clothes. Come on.
Lead to breathing problems. This time, she's choosing to help protect herself with Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo. Abrysvo is a vaccine for the prevention of lower respiratory tract disease caused by respiratory
And I will win.
RSV in adults 60 years of age and older. Abrysvo is not for everyone and may not protect all who receive the vaccine. Don't get Abrysvo if you've had a severe allergic reaction to its ingredients.
Thank you.
People with a weakened immune system may have a decreased response to Abrysvo. The most common side effects are
Thank you. I
tiredness,
appreciate that.
pain at the injection site, and muscle pain. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo, respiratory
Thank you,
syncytial
yeah.
virus vaccine. For
It's
full
like
prescribing
it's literally, we don't
please call
expect anybody to listen because it's
1-844-989-9899
literally just the two of us making ourselves laugh. So if anybody watches and gets a chuckle, then cool.
It's getting
Back
hot
to
in
Take
here.
the Points, powered by the Sportsbook at CAC Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona, exclusively on Fox Sports 910.
Ben, you've been here a couple of times. What would you think about? What was your first impression when you walked into the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona?
It smells really good, and I want to eat here. You said my first impression, so you didn't say anything about. No, you just said first impression. So it's the first thing I thought of when I walked in one day, I was like, wow, it smells really good, and I want something to eat here. And I was hoping someone would just offer me something, but that's not how the real world works. You have to actually pay for things, and I've done so before, and their food here, really, really good. So just really into all that.
Yeah, and it's funny. We talked about before we got on just now about how we both love wearing, baggier clothes, like so they're not as tight. And our producer back there, Richie, said, "We'll just go work out." And luckily, the New Year's coming around, so Ben, maybe we should work out more and wear some compression shirts.
Dude, that's never happening. That's never happening. I don't want to wear compression shirts anymore. I'm totally comfortable with the way I look now. I lift as much as I can. Richie, I don't know what you're kind of trying to ambush us with over there. Maybe saying we could lose a couple of pounds. But, no, it feels good. I feel great. And you know what? I'm going to stick with the baggier clothes. I'm a grown man now, and that's the way I kind of act.
Let's talk about some guys that wear compression shirts, that lift more weights than we do, that are more fit than we are, and that's the NFL players. And the NFL Player Awards odds right now. So you look at the AP NFL Regular Season MVP Award, and for those who did not know, the whole flip last week on Christmas Day, the odds-on favorite right now at -200 is Lamar Jackson, followed by Christian McCaffrey plus 700, Josh Allen plus 800, Tua Tagovailoa plus 800, and then Brock Purdy plus 1,400, followed by Tyreek Hill at 1,500.
No, Brock Purdy at plus 12. No, that doesn't make sense. Brock Purdy has...
It is wild, though. He went from -400 to plus 1,400 in one game.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I can't believe the guy that leads in every stat is not the MVP anymore. That's crazy. Stats are supposed to mean everything. So why is it... Oh, because Brock Purdy's not the most valuable player in the NFL and not even the most valuable player on his own teams. I digress. Jackson, continue.
Okay, we'll keep going. We'll keep going at this. No, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, as far as most valuable player on a team, like you look at, I think Tyreek deserves more credit. I think him on the Dolphins is fantastic. Like you've talked about it before. Josh Allen and what the Bills have turned around, he's up there. I like that. McCaffrey being up there too. But we're not knocking that Brock Purdy's a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He's fit. He's going to be a good quarterback for a long time.
Absolutely.
But the most valuable player is definitely Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, wait a second. Jackson, I was told from 49ers fans that you can't say in the same breath Brock Purdy is a very good quarterback. He's concise. He makes good reads. He's got really good feet in the pocket, and he's way more mobile than Jimmy G ever was. And then say, but he's not the most valuable player. That is
in the National Football League.
People will be like, oh, so you're calling him chopped liver. No, Brock Purdy's good. You can say in the same breath that he's good and he's talented and he's good for that system, and also he's not the most valuable player in the NFL. We're going to go ahead and give that to Lamar Jackson, who won with a backup tight end, old Odell Beckham Jr., Zay Flowers, who's a good, promising rookie, but has the drops at times.
And no hands, Nelson Aguilar.
And went in to Santa Clara and beat the 49ers, while Brock Purdy, on the other hand, had Deebo Samuel, the better left tackle, the better running back, the better second wide receiver, the better head coach in terms of offensive schematics, the favorite, and at home with all those weapons, lost to Lamar Jackson. And as Niners fans told me, head-to-head, that's why he was ahead of Dak Prescott. Head-to-head, that's why he was ahead of other quarterbacks. Lamar Jackson, head-to-head, beat Brock Purdy. Boom, checkmate. We're done with that conversation. You can say he's a good quarterback and then also say in the same breath, he's not the MVP.
Let's look at the –
continue.
Let's look at the other awards. We're on a time crunch here in the last segment of the first hour. But NFL Offensive Player of the Year, odds-on favorite is Christian McCaffrey, -250, followed by Tyreek Hill at +175. Coach of the Year, we talked about it at our opening segment. Kevin Stefanski, the new odds-on favorite, -300, followed by Dan Campbell, what he's done there in the Lions, +400. Shane Steichen, +1,000. And D'Amico Ryans at +1,400. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Richie was not happy about this, being a Rams fan, but -1,000 C.J. Stroud, followed by Puka Nacua +500, and then you've got, I like this one, Samuel Porta +10,000. He's been good this season for the Lions. How about the Lions? Their ability to draft, unreal. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jalen Carter -20,000 on that stout defensive line. Doesn't even start for him, but I think the defensive side of things, rookies have been well, but we haven't seen a standout performance from the rookies in that standpoint. And then lastly, the most anticipated award, it's the NFL MVP and then the NFL Comeback Player of the Year. Why? Because DeMar Hamlin -165 is the odds-on favorite, but Joe Flacco coming up right behind him at plus 130.
Yeah, and guess what, Jackson? I couldn't care less. Why is everyone so upset about the Comeback Player of the Year award? No one has legitimately ever cared about the Comeback Player of the Year award, but because it's fun and it's a hot topic, people get outraged by it. Guys, it is the Comeback Player of the Year award. No one cares outside of this year. If DeMar Hamlin wins it, awesome. Great for him. Great story. Don't care. Joe Flacco wins it. Don't care. You can have your opinion, but please don't be outraged over something that who cares about. It's the Comeback Player of the Year award. DeMar Hamlin should win it. And if he doesn't, oh well. Who cares? It's a Comeback Player of the Year award. Jackson, am I missing something here? Do you agree with me? Or do you think that everyone is fake outrage over the Comeback Player of the Year award that no one has ever talked about outside of this season?
I think it's hilarious that you're ranting about this, too.
It's so stupid.
It is really dumb. But hour one in the books. We're going to go back to college football next segment. We're going to talk about the college football playoff, both games, the odds, who do we like, who do we don't like, who do we feel comfortable with, who needs to show out, and then we're going to get into the NFL slate of games. And then at 12:30, Marco D'Angelo will make his picks. Michigan, Lions, Cowboys. You're listening to Take the Points, Fox Sports 910. Appreciate you for listening. We'll be right back.
Clear.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Arizona's headquarters for Toyotas is Wright Toyota. Hey, rock for my friends at Wright Toyota in Scottsdale. You will always find the right deal at Wright Toyota. Wright Toyota has been driving Arizona's home for years with their amazing service, pricing, and great selections. I encourage you to discover the difference at Wright Toyota. Make the right choice, Wright Toyota, just off the 101 on Franklin Wright Boulevard, and always online at WrightToyota.com. The right price, the right selection. Check out WrightToyota.com.
Looking for a change in your career? All City Towing is searching for motivated teammates to join their team. Current openings now available in customer service, tow truck operators, yard management, facilities maintenance, and dispatch. Apply online at allcitytowing.com/careers or call 480-833-7278.
Hi, I'm Dominic from Venezia's. Let's talk holiday catering. We can cater for just a few or a few hundred.
That's right, Dominic. Ordering for your holiday party is easy at Venezia's. We'll work with you and develop a menu that can include pizza, pasta, salads, and even stromboli. We serve authentic Italian food using only the freshest ingredients. It's food that will leave everyone begging for more.
Holiday catering from Venezia's. Check out our catering menu at venezias.com.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Let's take a moment to appreciate our sweet children, loving grandparents, and eternal soulmates. Now let's use them to save money on wireless. Because with the Straight Talk Silver Plan, you get 4 lines for just $25 a month with unlimited data and no contracts. So add those human pawns, loved ones, and save money. Thanks, kids. They're finally worth it. Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Get 4 lines on Silver Unlimited for $25 per line per month, plus taxes and fees. For data management practices and additional terms, visit straighttalk.com.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you right now, like Alternative Rewind, where all rock began. Just search Alternative Rewind and listen now on your free iHeartRadio app.
iHeartRadio.
Free never sounded so good.
Jim Gaffigan here with some more Straight Talk. Now you can get a Walmart Plus membership, plus not pay for it, because it's included with Straight Talk wireless plans. You get free delivery with Walmart Plus a Paramount Plus subscription included. Plus, you pay less for gas. That's a lot of pluses.
Only Straight Talk gives you unlimited 5G data and Walmart Plus included on select plans for free.
Straight Talk Wireless, available at Walmart.
Requires service on Gold or Platinum Unlimited. One offer per eligible account. Paramount Plus Essential Plan only. Separate registration required. Additional terms apply.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Monday from 10 to 1. This is KGME Phoenix, KESC HD2 Phoenix, an iHeart radio station. 1.
Looking for the one, what you looking at the one?
To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1.
Looking for the one, what you looking at the one?
And here here's what you need to know.
The Toronto Raptors are trading OG Anunoby, Malachi Flynn, and Precious Achua to the New York Knicks for RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickley, and a second-round draft pick. Per ESPN insider Adrian Wojnarowski, the Raptors also looking to move forward Pascal Siakam. The Peach Bowl's at the half right now. Ole Miss has a 3-point lead over Penn State, 20-17. In other college football news, Colorado defensive coordinator Charles Kelly is reportedly joining the Auburn coaching staff to be a co-defensive coordinator. The Kansas City Chiefs have activated McCole Hardman from injured reserve ahead of Sunday's game against Cincinnati. The Jacksonville Jaguars today activated offensive lineman Cam Robinson from injured reserve. The Green Bay Packers have downgraded cornerback Eric Stokes for tomorrow's game against the Vikings due to a hamstring injury. And the Pittsburgh Steelers have elevated Miles Jack, linebacker, and defensive back Eric Rowe from their practice squads. They play the Seahawks on Sunday. I'm Martin Weiss.
This is the My Guy Referrals Weather Center. Visit myguy.com for 5-star local referrals. Make My Guy your guy.
We'll wrap up this beautiful Saturday with a mix of clouds and sunshine, the high around 70 or so. Overnight, the clouds thicken up. We drop to 46, and your Sunday, cloudy skies and cooler, the high 63.
This report is sponsored by Pfizer. As the world keeps changing, so does COVID-19. That's why this season's COVID-19 shots have been updated. They're designed to help protect against recent variants. Learn more about a COVID-19 vaccine option at schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Time for Arizona's only local sports gambling radio show. Take the Points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAC Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona. Your home for uncensored sports betting opinions, analysis, and advice. The guys have you covered for all the games. Now, take the Points on Fox Sports 910 and the iHeartRadio app.
Hour number 2, Take the Points, the only and best and greatest sports betting gambling show in all of Arizona. Jackson Groff joined by Benjamin Garcia. I got to do that more often. I didn't really introduce. We said our names at the very beginning, and then after that, we did not reiterate our names until now. I just realized.
Yeah, no, I'm here, Benjamin Garcia. They probably didn't care much about my name.
Garcia talks. Who likes to talk? Yes.
Yes, I do. I do indeed, as a professional talker, like to talk. On Twitter, you can find me on there, at Garcia Talks, and then on Instagram. I put out fire takes every day that will nauseate Cowboy fans, that will nauseate Niner fans, and will make everyone else just joyous and happy. You can follow me on Instagram at I am Benjamin Garcia. That's the standard Hispanic way how to spell Garcia, Garcia.
Appreciate you filling in. Mike Gross, Mike Bauer out of town. But we just like we teased before, we're going to talk about the college football playoff semifinals. 4 Alabama versus 1 Michigan. Man, I can't remember 2 tighter games in a college football playoff than these two. I think for this game, Alabama's got literally no pressure. No pressure in this game at all. Michigan has so much pressure being 13-0. Jim Harbaugh is going to the NFL or not. Most talented roster they've had. J.J. McCarthy, Blake Corum, on and on. All these players going to the draft next year potentially. But this being in the granddaddy of all, the Rose Bowl, you wouldn't want it any other way. Nick Saban versus Jim Harbaugh. My biggest takeaway from this game is which coach is going to be more aggressive? Which coach is going to jump the gun first? When it's around the 40-yard line, the other 40-yard line, which one on that 4th and 1, 4th and 2 is going to go for it? It's going to trigger the other side. If Jim Harbaugh goes for it on 4th and 2, it's going to fire up Nick Saban. Another thing for me to look out for was I watched College Game Day this morning too. Michigan's only allowed 150 yards in scramble rushing yards this season. And, 90% of Jalen Milroe's rushing yards are off of scrambles. So that's a big thing to look out for there. Just off the dome there. But, Ben, I turn to you. Michigan 2-point favorite. What stands out to you when you look at this matchup?
Oh, yeah, the biggest thing that stands out to me, not just so much this matchup, I'm not sure if you knew this. Do you know Jim Harbaugh's record in bowl games as the Michigan head coach?
Not good.
It's 1-6. He's never covered the spread as the head coach of Michigan in a bowl game. I mentioned these yesterday when I was filling in on the drive. In the 2015 season, beat Florida in the Citrus Bowl 41-7. 2016 lost to Florida State in the Orange Bowl 33-32. 2017 lost in the Outback Bowl to South Carolina 26-19. 41-15 lost in the 2018 season to Florida in the Peach Bowl. Citrus Bowl again in the 2019 season, lost to Alabama. 2021 season lost in the Orange Bowl to Georgia 34-11. And then last year in our own backyard, 51-45 lost in the Fiesta Bowl to TCU. Is there a little bit of pressure on Jim Harbaugh, who has been seen and anointed as this great college football head coach, to get this monkey off his back, to get a college football playoff win and his first bowl win since the 2015 season?
Oh, yes, because I think he classifies himself and he puts himself in that upper echelon of coaches in all of college football, and deservingly so. He's won a lot, even at Stanford back in the day. He's won a lot at his alma mater, Michigan. Completely turned that program around. But that's the Achilles heel. Can he finally win a championship? And you saw the reaction, Ben, when they announced it was Alabama. It was a little quiet there. You got Nick Saban, you got Jalen Milroe, who's one of the hottest quarterbacks in football right now, starting to play better. You've got Nick Saban, who's been preparing you for a month. That's got to be one of the scariest things on the other side of it. But when you look at the quarterbacks, J.J. McCarthy, what J.J. McCarthy are we going to see? Is going to be the one at the beginning of the season. Yes, they were playing Bowling Green, Hawaii, and all those terrible teams, but they were passing for 250 yards each. Back end of the games, they've been more on the run. I mean, it was 6-7 at 67 yards against Penn State. So he's going to be a guy that's got to use his legs outside the pocket. But again, this is going to be a great game. I'm stoked to hear what Marco D'Angelo has to say at 12:30 about Michigan, Alabama. Michigan favored by 2. And when you look at the playoff as a whole, who's favored to win the playoff? Well, right now, it's Michigan plus 200, followed by Alabama plus 220, Texas plus 250, and then Washington at plus 650. But how about that? The 4 seed, the team that some people said should not be in, Ben Garcia, is the second odds-on favorite to win the national championship.
Yeah, I still stand on it. I don't think they deserve to be in after losing to Texas earlier this year. They had one loss, one blemish. Florida State didn't have any. They were not as deserving as Florida State. Now, I can say, I think Alabama's the better team without saying they're more deserving, but I've told you before, college football just changes the rules every year to which teams they want in, and I'm cool with that because there is a little bit of an entertainment factor. And although I do believe Florida State would have gotten ran out of the building by Michigan, I still think that they should have been in there, and I don't get to decide that because predictions are just predictions. That's why you play the game. So, let me ask you, how good do you feel about Michigan being able to pull off the upset to a lot of people and beat Alabama? I understand they're favored, but to a lot of people think that this is the underdog to pick in Alabama. A lot of people, the sexy pick is taking Alabama in this game. Is what I'm trying to say.
Confidence level.
Who'd you take?
Confidence level. I mean, like a 1. If it's like out of 10, scale 1 to 10, I'd probably say like a 3 or 4. I'm confident. 10 being really confident, 1 being not confident at all, and Michigan winning just because of how hot Alabama is. The 2 hottest teams in college football, Alabama and the Arizona Wildcats. I know you don't like to hear that being an ASU guy yourself, but the Arizona Wildcats are the hottest teams. But looking forward to watching that. The over-under 44.5 there. But that game's going to be grueling. A lot of running from the running backs. This next one, 2 Washington, 3 Texas. Over-unders at 62.5. Expect a lot of passing. If you are an offensive guy, this is the game for you. Both teams struggle in passing defense, but both teams have some of the best wide receiver units. Got A.D. Mitchell and Xavier Worthy for Texas. And then you got Romeo Dunze, Jalen McMillan, and Jalen Polk for Washington. Oh, yeah, Michael Penix Jr. versus Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers, who didn't get any media availability. Arch Manning got more than that.
How insane was that?
That was insane to me.
It's not like Quinn Ewers is some bad quarterback that came out and then showed up and became something at Texas. If I'm not mistaken, he was the number 1 recruit coming out of high school, at least the number 1 quarterback coming out of high school.
They say they said the best rated quarterback ever out of high school is Quinn Ewers.
And because his last name isn't Manning, he's getting less media attention. And maybe I'm in the minority, but I'd rather hear what's coming out of Quinn Ewers' mouth than what's coming out of Arch Manning. I just don't care. And Arch Manning really hasn't showed us anything, obviously, because he hasn't really been on the field since he got at Texas. But I guess it just goes to show you, doesn't really matter how good you are at your job. It matters what the last name is on the back of your jersey.
Literally.
In any profession. And, it's because I'm a little salty over here, seeing that kind of happens in this industry sometimes. But either way, it's kind of insane to me that people are so focused on the Arch Manning story. I mean,
well, it is kind of so. Malik Murphy, the backup, he had a transfer because he wanted to go somewhere else with the whole calendar, and that's another discussion another day. Like January 2nd is when it closes. It stinks that he can't be there for his team, but he had to get in the portal early so he can figure out where he's going. He's going to Duke University, which will be a great match there. But Arch Manning, the backup here, it's in Louisiana. Archie Manning, his grandpa, that's where he played. He used to be a Saint, so that's a storyline in itself. But the biggest thing, can Quinn Ewers stay healthy? Can they get the running game going on the offense side of things, and who is going to fold first? Both quarterbacks have been taking care of the ball recently, but who's going to be the first one to throw an interception? Something to watch out for there, but I'm looking forward to both these games. Texas here by 4.5 in that one. Lastly, off the cuff here, we got to talk about the Fiesta Bowl too. I will be at that game. It's here in Arizona. We got to talk about it. 23 Liberty against 8 Oregon. Oregon is a 16.5-point favorite.
I mean,
16.5.
Is that something that really shocks you? I understand Liberty's 13-0, but this Oregon team was favored by 10 points over Washington in the Pac-12 championship game. This is a really good Oregon team that, I mean, would you be surprised if they blew past that line that they've been given in the Fiesta Bowl?
I would not. No, I'm surprised the line's that low, to be honest. I mean, look, this is a Conference USA team in Liberty. 13-0 is hard to do. They've got a good quarterback in Caden Salter, and they've got great stuff going. But it's the University of Oregon. Bo Nix is playing. Bucky Irving's playing. That defense is sound, and you're going to see the depth of Oregon. Their best wide receiver's not playing. Cool. They've got wide receiver depth off the wazoo. So, again, Oregon, this is a team I'm looking forward to seeing where Dan Lanning's going, because you've seen some of the, the Dabo Swinney, what he's done at Clemson, like turning that program around and building it from the ground up. He has an opportunity to go there, and you're starting to see the recruiting from him. You got Dylan Gabriel next year. They've got Dante Moore next year. This Oregon team going to the Big Ten is going to compete with the Michigans, with Ohio State if Devin Brown's healthy. That game last night was atrocious, by the way. I don't know if you watched that Missouri-Ohio State game. But besides the point, I like where Oregon's going in the right direction. And in this game, with Bo Nix being his 61st start, it's the icing on the cake.
Yeah, are you surprised that Bo Nix, who could be, I mean, listen.
I love it. I love these players.
The NFL draft is a really long ways away, but things get weird. So when I say things like Bo Nix could be a first-round draft pick, it does sound a little crazy right now. Give it 2 months. We almost talked ourselves into Will Levis going second overall last year. There was buzz around that in the draft before he fell. I mean, how I guess I would ask your opinion. What do you think of Bo Nix playing in this game and when he's going to go to the NFL next year and probably be a starting quarterback next year in the NFL?
I love it because that's just who Bo Nix is. He came out in a press conference today. I want to finish this season with my brothers. Now, 61, does he want to add to that record? Maybe a little bit. But I think at the end of the day, it's football. Anyone can get hurt at any given moment. I think he trusts his offensive line against this Liberty team. And look, I'm going to say this, and I think this is something that's eventually going to happen in college football unless they put rules on NIL and transfer portal. I'm telling you, I have a feeling eventually that bowl games will give out NIL deals for players to stay in bowl games. Because if you think about it, like Marvin Harrison Jr. last night waited to the last possible second. If he would announce way earlier that he was not going to play in the Cotton Bowl, what is the line there for sports betting? How many people show up for Marvin Harrison and the big impact there? Like, I think that's an example. I think Caleb Williams in the Holiday Bowl, Miller Moss went crazy, but the attendance would have been more if Caleb Williams was playing in that ball game. So it's going to be interesting to see. I wonder if bowl games will start paying some of these quarterbacks, paying these big guys to not opt out in those bowl games.
Oh, it's a little bit wild, wild west right now when it comes to the bowl games and the transfer portal and everything, conference realignment. So until the NCAA decides to put some rules and restrictions on that are much needed, I might add, this is just going to happen. And it sucks. Like, I know you love bowl season, and I used to, but this bowl season has been...
There's too many. I think they've got to limit it. Like, with the 12-team playoff, I think they got to be 8-4 to make it. I think 6-6, like, okay, that's an average season. But if you're 8-4, you deserve to be in a bowl game.
I mean, maybe I'm in the minority here when I say this, but there's no reason Kyle McCord should be allowed to transfer before the bowl season has been done.
Agreed.
Or Dylan Gabriel, who I watched play at Oklahoma earlier this year in Norman, and then he's not playing. He's already on his way to Oregon. Like, it's just stupid. Wait, can we have some restrictions that you can't transfer until, I don't know, at least after the bowl game has been played? Or, gosh, could you wait till halftime to tell everyone?
The last statement I'll say about this, college football is growing. They need a commissioner at the helm to run everything and to be the voice and to make decisions. But speaking of commissioner, a league that has a commissioner, Ben, is the National Football League. We're talking NFL next. We're going to talk about bets that we like in the National Football League. There's a bunch of must-see games, playoff implications, all tomorrow. Take the points. Fox Sports 910.
Take the points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona continues next on Fox Sports 910 and the free iHeartRadio app. Finish 2023 strong with one of the best rivalries in recent AFC history. The Cincinnati Bengals head to Arrowhead to try and upset the Kansas City Chiefs tomorrow at 1:30 on Fox Sports 910. Presented by HornCars.com.
Hey, this is Kelly Cooper. Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? Look no further than BKD's Backyard Joint. At BKD's, we're not just a sports bar. We're the destination for the best food, drinks, and sports experience in the Valley. Located at the corner of Pecos and McQueen and Chandler, get ready to score big on fun and flavor. Only at BKD's Backyard Joint, where every day is game day. Check us out online at bkdsbackyard.com. That's bkdsbackyard.com.
Let the experts at Level 5 Lighting, all-in-one exterior permanent LED lighting, brighten up your world. Take advantage of this month's special offer, 12 months of no-interest financing. For details, go to level5lighting.com to request a free quote. That's level5lighting.com.
Do more together this holiday in a new Chevy. Take on more adventure in the strong and capable Chevy Silverado. More confidence in the Chevy Equinox, winner of the J.D. Power Award for initial quality among compact SUVs 2 years running. And more value in the all-new Chevy Trax with an available 11-inch diagonal touchscreen. Bring the holidays together in a new Chevy. See your Valley Chevy dealers. For J.D. Power 2023 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Hey, sports fans, celebrate every big game with El Bandito Yankee, an ultra-premium tequila made from 100% Blue Weber agave in the highlands of Jalisco. Their certified additive-free Blanco and Reposado features a unique oxygenation process for a rich smoothness without that tequila burn. It's why they won platinum and gold medals and are now listed as one of the world's top tequilas by Rolling Stone. Head over to your local store, favorite bar, or restaurant in all 7 Barrio Queen locations. Go to elbanditoyankee.com and break out the Bandito with the official tequila of Game Day.
Over the years, Lerner has helped over 150,000 injured people recover billions of dollars for their injuries and over $1 billion in the last 5 years alone. What does that mean to you when you're looking for an attorney to handle your personal injury case? That means that Lerner is a law firm that not only has experience, but the proven results to recover money for your injuries. The insurance companies know which attorneys won't put up a fight. When you call us, we call them, and they know they have to pay.
Lerner and Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Get ready for double the fun on the 101. Introducing the Salt River Rewards Program at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort, the Valley's newest and best. With multiple tiers and endless benefits, we've got something for everyone. Don't miss out on the excitement. Salt River Rewards, the Valley's premier player rewards program, now at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. 2 properties, 1 amazing club, offering limitless fun on the 101. Discover the best in the Valley at saltriverrewards.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the scenic views stick around after the sun sets, and your favorite cocktails keep you company long after late-night bites. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
When it comes to insurance, we don't focus on the competition. We focus on our customers. At Crest Insurance Group, customer service is not what we do, but who we are. Now more than ever, businesses and families are turning to knowledgeable partners to help provide them with the insurance coverages they need. We've worked hard to become one of the country's top independent agencies, and our clients benefit from our vision, experience, and outstanding service. Contact Crest and let our insurance professionals tell you what they see. You'll be glad you did.
For 25 years, Lovesac has been rewriting the rules of comfort and empowering customers to live life on their terms. This holiday season, change your mind and your style. From the endless adaptability of sectionals to the cloud-like comfort of a sack, Lovesac provides peace of mind where other furniture can't. Lovesac will always fit your space and your needs, no matter where life takes you. Visit lovesac.com or a showroom near you to learn more and shop exciting holiday offers. That's lovesac.com for more details and to find a showroom near you.
I'm Sarah Kustak, NBA analyst for the Brooklyn Nets, and my podcast, NBA Pulse with Sarah Kustak, is back.
The Denver Nuggets can finally call themselves NBA champions.
Every Monday and Friday, I'll be joined by a top NBA writer to discuss the biggest stories in the league. And we'll do it in about 15 minutes, so you can stay up to date and keep it moving. Check out NBA Pulse with Sarah Kustak on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Back to Take the Points, powered by the Sportsbook at CAC Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona, exclusively on Fox Sports 9.
Live. Little update on the college football Peach Bowl game real quick. We'll get in the NFL in just a second. 20-17 right now. 11 Ole Miss over 10 Penn State. 12 minutes, 15 seconds left in the third quarter. Ole Miss is driving right now. Jackson Dart, 273 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. That's the headline from that game. But, Ben, we got to talk NFL. Bunch going on, playoff implications on the line. We're going to go through some bets that we like and maybe some games that we say, you know what, stay away. We don't like that line. Maybe it's too high. Maybe it's too low. Maybe it's too close together. Maybe just look on the money line of some teams. So I'm going to kick it off to you, Ben. Which one do you like right now?
Yeah, one game that I really enjoy, and I'm going to even relate this to fantasy football a little bit. I feel sorry for anyone playing in their fantasy football championship this week, and they're relying on the Commanders to stop the worst defense in the NFL, to stop Christian McCaffrey from dropping 50 points. The San Francisco 49ers were embarrassed on Monday Night Football. Prime time, Brock Purdy got embarrassed on prime time. They are 13.5-point favorites. I usually stay away from numbers when they're double-digit. The Commanders are awful. And now they're relying on Jacoby Brissett, who now might not play, and then Sam Howell might play. So without all the first-team reps, he's out of sorts. I love the 49ers to go on the road and to cover 13.5 easy. And then Christian McCaffrey to win a lot of people a lot of money this week in the fantasy football championship.
Anytime touchdown, also one of those for Christian McCaffrey. That's like minus like 200 right now. For me, give me the Cowboys minus 5.5. And this is interesting here, Ben, because the Cowboys at home are 6-1 against the spread, but the Lions on the road are 6-1 against the spread. But I just think the Cowboys at home, they bounce back. 2 back-to-back tough losses against the Bills and then the Dolphins here. They play really well at home. I think they got to, win this game next week. Probably, unlikely going to win the NFC East. They might be in the implications. We'll see what happens with the Eagles and Cardinals and what happens at the end of the season. But I like the Cowboys at home. I think they're more desperate to win at home. For some reason, they play way better at home than they do on the road. But I think 5.5 for me is what I like there.
Yeah, I would stay away from this game. If I got it at 4.5, I might think about taking the Cowboys, but the Lions, I think the biggest thing for me, too, is Jared Goff in a dome is just way different than Jared Goff outdoors. So, although I agree with you, I think the Cowboys are going to win this game. I think I'd stay away from that one. But another game that I would easily stay away from is the Indianapolis Colts that are favored.
About to say that.
Minus 3.5 against the Raiders, who have been playing really well, especially defensively under Antonio Pierce, who is basically a villain here at Arizona State after being part of the allegations that got them bowl banned this year, a self-imposed ban. But he's been doing wonders on that defense for the Raiders. And I think just most of it was Josh McDaniels was just a terrible head coach and should have never been hired again. And the Colts, minus 3.5, I'd stay away from it there. And honestly, at plus 155, I think you got to sprinkle a little bit money on the money line for the Las Vegas Raiders as well. Anything for you as well, Jackson?
I'm going to go, just lost my tab. There we go. One that I like, and I'm surprised this team's favored, and I think this other quarterback's been subtly playing really well down the stretch. Packers plus 1, I like a lot. Minnesota favored by 1. You're relying on Jaron Hall, rookie quarterback from BYU, Nick Mullins, Josh Dobbs. I think Aaron Jones is starting to get healthy. They're starting to get this offense going. I like the Packers to win this game. I'd go money line. I'd go plus 1. Kind of surprised here that they're the underdog. But, again, We'll see, but again, 3-5 away is the record for the Packers. 2-5 at home for the Vikings. So very similar playing styles or records from that standpoint.
Yeah, don't hate that one at all. I think that's a good bet as well, although not a super crazy underdog. Still minus 105 on the money line. Another game that I also really like is the New England Patriots getting 14 points here at the CAZ Sports Bar against the Buffalo Bills. The Buffalo Bills are way too Josh Allen dependent. He is a life preserver for the Buffalo Bills. Remember, no Matt Milano, no Tre'Davious White. Both those guys are still injured. The New England Patriots, Bill Belichick and company, looks like he could be out the door. You know he'd love to stick it to the Patriots by ruining their draft positioning. I like the Patriots getting 14, who, by the way, beat them the last time they played. I like the Bills to win that game, but the Patriots to cover 14 points.
All right, let's talk about the game of the weekend. This one, I don't know where this is going to go. I'm staying away. I advise people listening on the radio right now, maybe sense the game out before you choose between the Dolphins and the Ravens. Ravens favored by 3. Dolphins starting to click on offense. Their defensive line looks great. Ravens obviously coming off that big game against the Niners. But, Ben, when you look at this one, what sticks out to you between the Dolphins and Ravens?
I think what sticks out to me the most is the fact that they're only favored by 3 points. I mean, that's basically them saying they're pretty much even, but since Baltimore's home, we're going to give Baltimore the edge here. I don't really love the Baltimore disrespect when it comes to this game because, yes, I know that they're feeling themselves after a Monday Night Football win over the Niners, which was huge. I don't really think that's how Baltimore works. Baltimore is a football factory, and with Lamar Jackson, who's trying to continue to close the gap on that MVP, this isn't like a bunch of a star-studded offense that can get too full of themselves. This is Isaiah Likely trying to make a name for himself. Zay Flowers still trying to make a name for himself. Odell Beckham Jr. has been injury-riddled. People have wrote him off. He's still trying to make a name for himself. I like Baltimore to win this game and to cover the spread, but like yourself, I think I'd stay away from this game. What about yourself?
Yeah, I think for the Dolphins, you got to score touchdowns. You only had like 1 touchdown, I believe, 1 or 2 against the Cowboys last week, a bunch of field goals in that game. I think they've got to score touchdowns against the Ravens. Ravens being at home, Lamar gets hot. Hopefully he could figure out where the ref's at so he can scramble wherever he pleases. That was hilarious there. But, yeah, I agree with you. I think the Ravens cover 3. They're a team that I'm starting to like. That game against the 49ers, for real there. This next one, interesting team, the Steelers and the Seahawks. Mason Rudolph looked really good last week against the Bengals. Seahawks at home, they got to win out for an opportunity to get into the playoffs. They're 5-2 at home. Geno Smith playing, Drew Lock, big win a couple weeks ago against the Eagles. What sticks out to you on this one? -4 favorite for Seattle.
Yeah, with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Seattle Seahawks, I got a buddy out there that's a huge Seattle Seahawks fan. It's a huge Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and this guy has been pounding the table, pounding the drum. He's been calling for Tomlin's head on a platter. He's been calling for Mason Rudolph for weeks. The Steelers finally got Mason Rudolph. However, I will stay away from that game as a whole. That 3.5, you're asking me to depend on Geno Smith or asking me to depend on Mason Rudolph. I won't do either. I'd stay away from this game. If I had to pick something, I think I'd take the Seahawks to win and to cover. I just don't think I'm going to sit here and believe in Mason Rudolph to continuously give another great performance as well. Let me quickly just ask you, this Arizona Cardinals, Philadelphia Eagles game, where are you leaning here? Because I've already given my prediction. I think the Cardinals will cover. I think the Eagles are really beaten up. Not a great team on the back end defensively. I'm kind of curious where you would lean there.
Yeah, I would say Cardinals to cover, but for me, I think Eagles first half spread is something to look out for. I think this Eagles team always starts out hot. I think the Cardinals start to get stuff going. It's tough for them to get rolling early. So I would look into that one. But being 1-7 away is that's just a tough outing for the Arizona Cardinals there. But that game tomorrow will open up the day at 11 a.m. But a ton of games. We even mentioned Bengals Chiefs being a game. Chargers Broncos, the battle of the backups there, and some other ones there for the NFL. But good stuff there. But enough of us. We're going to talk to the man himself, Marco D'Angelo, about what are his sports betting opinions, sports betting facts. He's going to talk Cowboys-Lions game tonight. Cowboys favored by 5.5. And then the Alabama-Michigan game, Michigan favored by 2. What are his thoughts about the line changing up and down? How do sports bettors analyze games being at a neutral site like the Rose Bowl? Does it matter that it's on the West Coast versus maybe at the Sugar Bowl? Like, we're going to get into kind of how handicappers like himself bet on bowl games, but all of that and more. Bill Garcia, Jackson Groff, appreciate you watching Fox Sports 910.
Take the points. Powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona continues next on Fox Sports 910 and the free iHeartRadio app.
Jenny!
Hey, Jenny!
Jenny, come on in! Steve!
Hey, Steve!
Steve, how you doing?
Meg!
Meg, nice to see you! Hey, Meg!
Arena Sports Grill. Come on out for the sports, off-track betting, incredible food, and friendly faces. The best daily specials in Scottsdale. Arena Sports Grill, 62nd Street in Bell. We know you.
Let the experts at Level 5 Lighting, all-in-one exterior permanent LED lighting, brighten up your world. Take advantage of this month's special offer, 12 months of no-interest financing. For details, go to level5lighting.com to request a free quote. That's level5lighting.com.
When you use your electric vehicle in autopilot or self-driving mode, accidents can still happen. Whether you're considered at fault or not, you may still have a claim. Lerner & Rowe has a dedicated team skilled in this new science. We are the first law firm in America with the ability to review the proprietary software and hold electric vehicle manufacturers responsible. If you or a loved one were injured in an electric vehicle accident, call Lerner & Rowe today.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Hey, Rocket Manooch with Jimmy B continue to grow as they now have their own secret football menu with special pricing at BKD's Backyard Joint in Chandler. Every Sunday after 3 p.m., just ask for the Rocket Manooch with Jimmy B football menu and get special pricing. That's BKD's Backyard Joint, located at Pecos and McQueen in Chandler.
Get ready for double the fun on the 101. Introducing the Salt River Rewards Program at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort, the Valley's newest and best. With multiple tiers and endless benefits, we've got something for everyone. Don't miss out on the excitement. Salt River Rewards, the Valley's premier player rewards program, now at Casino Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. 2 properties, 1 amazing club, offering limitless fun on the 101. Discover the best in the Valley at saltriverrewards.com.
Frankie drives end-to-end, scoops it up and in with 2 seconds left. Frankie Collins end-to-end.
Join the action this season and catch USC, UCLA, Washington, and Arizona when they come to Desert Financial Arena in the final year of the Pac-12 Conference.
Collins over to Lance for 3. Bullseye!
Get your tickets today by calling 480-965-5812 or go online to sundeviltickets.com. Sun Devil men's basketball, onward to victory.
Any car dealer in Arizona can compete on price. That's what dealers do. But not many dealers can compete on customer satisfaction, like Wright Toyota. Make the right choice. Wright Toyota in Scottsdale, just off the 101 on Frank Lloyd Wright Boulevard, and online at wrighttoyota.com.
The will to win is important, but preparing to win is essential. At Crest Insurance, we understand that the road to success is not one that you go alone. Whether it's your family or business, you're not buying insurance, you're buying protection. That's why so many turn to the professionals at Crest Insurance. Our team has the experience to help you safeguard the things that matter most. It's not just an insurance policy, it's peace of mind.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Denise has been playing jazz for 40 years.
Marco is ready.
One of the musicians fell sick with RSV, respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV.
Are you guys ever going to talk about the wagon that is the Arizona Coyotes?
Breathing problems. This time, she's choosing to help protect herself with Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo. Abrysvo is a vaccine for the prevention of lower respiratory tract
I said, are you guys going to talk
caused
about
by
the wagon that is the
syncytial
Arizona
virus,
Coyotes?
RSV, in adults 60 years of age and older. Abrysvo is not for everyone and may not protect all who receive the vaccine. Don't get Abrysvo if you've had a severe allergic reaction to its ingredients. People with a weakened immune system may have a decreased response to Abrysvo.
One of the best teams in NHL in December.
Tiredness, headache, pain.
They're better than
injection
the
site,
Suns
and
right
muscle
now.
pain. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo, respiratory syncytial virus vaccine. For full prescribing information, please call 1-844-989-7284 or visit abrysvo.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Joe Brown here with Accident Law Group. If you were hurt in an accident, find us on the web at accidentlawgroup.com.
Back to Take the Points, powered by the Sportsbook at CAC Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona, exclusively on Fox Sports 910.
You know what time it is? 12:34, 11:34 Vegas time. We go to the phone lines. Viva Las Vegas, our very own Wager Talk's very own sports betting handicapper himself. Marco D'Angelo joins the show. Marco, great to see you. It's me, Jackson Groff, Grossenbauer, Mike Gross, Mike Bauer, on vacation. Benjamin Garcia joining in once again, filling in. Great to have you here. Hope you had a great Christmas and Happy New Year, my friend.
Oh, same to you, Jackson. Looking forward to the final weekend of college football. After this, we have just one game left, the championship next week. So it's been a fun time breaking down college all year with you guys, and we're just getting to the meat of the NFL now with the playoffs about to start in 2 weeks.
100%. We've got one college game, one NFL game for those listening. We got Alabama, Michigan, and the Cowboys, Lions. And I want to start college with you because before we get into Alabama, Michigan, that's the game that you're calling. How do handicappers evaluate games in neutral sites, like such as the Rose Bowl? Like, what do you think? Like a line like this maybe would change if, let's say, Michigan, Alabama are playing in the Sugar Bowl? Just kind of talk about how you look at a game being in a neutral site.
The neutral sites, I really don't do anything different with them. Sometimes you will look at some of these games where maybe it's being played in the home state of one of the teams. But when it's the bigger bowl games and still, the ticket prices and everything, the fans, of those teams that want to support them are going to come. Obviously, it's easier for the local fans that are in a closer proximity to get there, but it's not really a home field advantage that we do anything with, so we treat it on their merit. My biggest question for this bowl season is trying to navigate through the landmine of opt-outs and transfer portals. That's been the big problem this bowl season, but fortunately for us, now that we're getting to the better bowls, there's less of that, and of course with the two big games that we're going to be looking at on New Year's Day with the playoff games, all hands on deck unless there's injuries.
Michigan favored by 2. Alabama, Michigan. The over-under's at 45 here on the we have at the CAZ Sportsbook. Marco, what do you like on this one? Break us down this game.
Well, I don't have my buddy Gross on here he would enjoy my pick for sure on this one because I'm going to be looking at Michigan in this game. And I know that everybody is looking at Nick Saban, and we know how successful he has been in bowl games. He's one of the best coaches when it comes to having extra time to prepare for a game. He presents a great game plan. This is a spot, though, I'm looking at Michigan, and it's not often that you get a mulligan. You get a chance to come right back and get a second chance. And Michigan's got to be kicking themselves last year. They had a golden opportunity to be playing for a national championship last year, and they got taken out in the semifinal round by TCU, a team that, we saw what happened to them when they went on to the championship game. Michigan got behind early in that game, played catch-up the whole game, couldn't quite get there, made a run of it late, but it wasn't enough. I'm looking at this Michigan defense, and I think it's going to be the key in this game. Alabama, we know what happened to them down the stretch. We know how they got here. I understand the fact that you have to have a one-loss SEC champion in the playoffs. I get that. But let's be honest and look at the full body of work for Alabama this year. Yeah, they only had one loss, but I can't help but not look at they lost at home to Texas. Granted, it was the second week of the season, but they lost to Texas. They never really were a threat, in my opinion, in that game. Texas dominated it from the beginning. Then you look at the Arkansas game in the middle of the season. That was a game in which they were life and death with them. And that came the week after they went on the road and played Texas A&M in a tight game as well. And let's not forget the Auburn game. Yeah, I understand they were probably looking ahead to the SEC championship game, but still, you were a double-digit favorite, and you needed a miracle of all miracle plays at the end of the game to come out of that game. We would have been seeing a totally different landscape playing for the national championship had they not done that. Michigan has been solid all year. I get it. They've only played a couple really good teams this year, but you can only play who is in front of you. I like the Michigan defense. I think it's going to be a hard-nosed game. And let's be honest, it's been a year for Michigan where a lot of distractions off the field. I really think we're looking at the last two games. I'm saying two games because I expect them to win this one and then be coaching in the national championship game. Jim Harbaugh will move on to the NFL after this season. I've got Michigan winning 31-23.
31-23. Michigan -2, the pick for Marco there.
Yeah, Marco, let's go ahead and switch spots over here to the NFL. Huge anticipated game this weekend. The Detroit Lions visiting the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys pretty good at home. However, the Lions pretty good against the spread. Where are you leaning in this game?
Well, I have a slight lean in this game to the side, but I like the total more. And I'm going to give you both plays in this game. And we're going to look at this one. And, you look at a game from the previous week and you break it down and everything. And you never want to say one play can dictate the outcome of a football game. But I'm going to be honest with you. One play did dictate the outcome of last week's game. And I'm talking about the total last week. If you remember, Dallas opened that game last week on the road at Miami with a long, methodical drive. They went down the field, looked like they were about to go in for a touchdown when the running back got hit right at the goal line and literally did a helicopter. Well, the helicopter landed with the blade on the wrong side of the goal line as they marked him down 6 inches short of the goal line. Okay, no problem. You're going to punch it in on the next play, except they fumbled the handoff. What that one play did, not getting that touchdown there, ate up over half of the first quarter, and then it gave the ball to Miami at their own 2-yard line. They had to go, the length of the field from that point on, which they ate up most of the rest of the quarter and settled for a field goal. So you ended up getting just 3 points out of that first quarter, in which you could have had 10 points or more, because if Dallas would have scored, Miami would have got a kickoff, had better field position to start that drive, in game flow. That dictates how a game goes. This one, Dallas, we know, scores more points at home. They're more confident at home. We know the MO on the Detroit Lions. It's been the same for the last several years. They can score on anybody. Their defense is another issue. They give up a lot of points. The Lions clinched the division last week, so they're playing with house money. They still have something to play for because they're jockeying for home field advantage in the playoffs for as long as they can. So they're going to come to play. They're going to score points, but so are the Cowboys. And what you're going to see is quicker scores than you saw last week. And when one team scores, the other team's going to have to answer. I am looking for an absolute track meet tonight. I am taking this one. I am projecting over 61 or more points in this game. My actual projected final score is 31-30, the Detroit Lions. So giving you a play with the Lions as well. But my big play for this game is to go over the total tonight. We're looking at 52. I think we get the winning team is going to be in the 30s.
Over 52, the play there. Lions, Cowboys, and to recap, he likes Michigan -2 there. But Marco, as always, we appreciate you coming on. Hope you had a great Christmas, Happy New Year, and cheers to another year, Marco, 2024. May we all cash our tickets.
Let's do it, guys. Enjoy the games, and Happy New Year to all of your listeners. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Marco D'Angelo, Wager Talk. Always fun that he comes on here. Been crazy. College football comes to a wrap on Monday. Sad to see. NFL, he'll be around for NFL as well. But we're going to take a break. Coming up next, Casey Walsh from the CAZ Sportsbook will come over and join us on the show, talk about where the public's trending on both Alabama, Michigan, Washington, Texas, Cardinals game, Cowboys, all that and more. This is Take the Point, Fox Sports 910.
Take the Points, powered by the Sportsbook at CAZ Sports Bar in Casino, Arizona, continues next on Fox Sports 910 and the free iHeartRadio app.
Here we go.
Steve Covino.
Ooh.
Rich Davis.
Yes.
This is Covino and Rich.
The reality is Brock Purdy, as the weeks pass, the case is even stronger.
Yes. Rich is basically saying he needs to start campaigning for himself.
I'm not saying he should be like, yeah, world, guess what? I'm Brock Purdy, and I'm the mother effing best. He was quick to say, no. I think Christian should be MVP.
Covino and Rich, Monday at 4. Listen to Fox Sports 910 anywhere on the free iHeartRadio app.
When it comes to insurance, we don't focus on the competition. We focus on our customers. At Crest Insurance Group, customer service is not what we do, but who we are. Now more than ever, businesses and families are turning to knowledgeable partners to help provide them with the insurance coverages they need. We've worked hard to become one of the country's top independent agencies, and our clients benefit from our vision, experience, and outstanding service. Contact Crest and let our insurance professionals tell you what they see. You'll be glad you did.
Got the urge to pick games each week? Thursday, Sunday, even Mondays? Then sign up now for the Twin Peaks Fan Pick'em, courtesy of Blue Moon and Coors Light. It's totally free to play. Head to fanpick'em.com. That's fanpick'em.com.
Frankie drives end-to-end, scoops it up and in with 2 seconds left. Frankie Collins end-to-end. Join the action this season and catch USC, UCLA, Washington, and Arizona when they come to Desert Financial Arena in the final year of the Pac-12 Conference. Collins over to Lance for 3. Bullseye! Get your tickets today by calling 480-965-5812 or go online to sundeviltickets.com. Sun Devil Men's Basketball, onward to victory.
Do more together this holiday in a new Chevy. Take on more adventure in the strong and capable Chevy Silverado. More confidence in the Chevy Equinox, winner of the J.D. Power Award for initial quality among compact SUVs 2 years running. And more value in the all-new Chevy Trax with an available 11-inch diagonal touchscreen. Bring the holidays together in a new Chevy. See your Valley Chevy dealers. For J.D. Power 2023 U.S. Initial Quality Study Award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
Arizona's largest locally owned A-plus BBB rated towing company is All City Towing. They're always looking to add motivated and competitive team members. Do you fit the bill? If so, head on over to allcitytowing.com/careers for more information.
There are many signs that you may be in financial trouble. Late mortgage payments, paying bills from your retirement account, or paying one credit card with another. If you're experiencing financial hardship, bankruptcy may be right for you. The credit industry wants you to believe that bankruptcy is bad and will destroy your credit forever, but that's just not true. At Lerner & Rowe Law Group, we'll take the time to carefully examine your situation and develop a plan that is right for you. Call Lerner & Rowe Law Group today for a free consultation.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
Sean Forster, Managing Attorney.
Hey, this is Kelly Cooper. Are you ready for the ultimate sports experience? Look no further than BKD's Backyard Joint. At BKD's, we're not just a sports bar. We're the destination for the best food, drinks, and sports experience in the Valley. Located at the corner of Pecos and McQueen and Chandler, get ready to score big on fun and flavor. Only at BKD's Backyard Joint, where every day is game day. Check us out online at bkdsbackyard.com. That's bkdsbackyard.com.
Get ready for double the fun on the 101. Introducing the Salt River Rewards Program at Casino, Arizona and Talking Stick Resort, the Valley's newest and best. With multiple tiers and endless benefits, we've got something for everyone. Don't miss out on the excitement. Salt River Rewards, the Valley's premier player rewards program, now at Casino, Arizona and Talking Stick Resort. 2 properties, 1 amazing club, offering limitless fun on the 101. Discover the best in the Valley at saltriverrewards.com.
Don't miss out on limited time appliance deals during the closeout event at Lowe's. For a limited time, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, get an additional 20% off in-store clearance appliances. Hurry, these deals are too good to last long. Shop in-store or online today because Lowe's knows deals. 1324. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
time for the best bets, locks, and daily wager picks, courtesy of the CAZ Sportsbook in Casino, Arizona. Now joining the guys is CAZ Sportsbook expert Casey Walsh.
From Boston.
Exclusively on Fox Sports 910.
Casey, how are we feeling? How are we doing? 2 days left of 2023. How was your Christmas? Happy New Year, my friend.
Same to you guys. Yeah, everything's great. Excited for the new year. A little sad football's coming to an end, but looking forward to the next year for sure.
Hell yeah. Speaking of football, let's talk college football playoff real quick. We're going to do our picks and our locks at the end. But, Casey, where are people leaning on both these games that you've been seeing?
So far, it's been a little mixture of both on the Alabama-Michigan game, seeing a little bit on both sides. As for the total in that game, we've seen a lot of what you would consider your sharper action coming in on the under, and then a little bit on the over, but your bigger money's on the under in that game. Going to the Texas-Washington game, most people are taking Texas minus the 4 against Washington, and a lot of people are leaning under in that game as well.
So there's two very annoying fan bases that are very populated in Arizona, one being the Cowboys and two being Ohio State. I don't know if you watched that game last night, Casey. 14-3, Missouri beats Ohio State. Was there a lot of play on Ohio State in that game?
Tons of play. That line ended up closing at Ohio State minus 5.5, or it got up to 5.5. Then Harrison was ruled out, so they dropped it down to 4.5. But we had money on Ohio State earlier in the week, -1 Ohio State money line. So that was a big profitable game for the book.
Another game, real quick, college football. We'll go to the NFL side of things. Fiesta Bowl. Oregon minus 16.5. Is that pretty much the biggest play you've seen, or have you seen some money go on Liberty side?
I've seen absolutely no Liberty money at all. Haven't really seen too much bet on the game. If anything, people are more leaning towards the over right now.
Okay.
It went from 65 up to 67. That's where most of the money's gone so far.
And then NFL side of things. I mean, crazy NFL right now. I mean, Joe Flacco and he's doing with the Browns. Have you seen any people come in on that being the Browns? Maybe Super Bowl or even AFC champs on that side?
Yeah, no, we've definitely seen some crazy bets coming in lately. We've seen money coming in on the Browns for the Super Bowl, Browns for the AFC, Rams Super Bowl, things like that coming in on that. But the other night, it was crazy because that over-under was at 33 for the whole game. Flew over.
You got that in the first half. Last question for you, and then we'll get into our picks here in just a bit. Cardinals-Eagles, what action have you seen there? I know the Eagles are a very heavy favorite, but Arizona Cardinals fans are pretty loyal here in Arizona when it comes to sports betting, regardless of the line, right? No?
To an extent. It depends on who they're playing. Certain teams like that, like last week, it was a lot of Bears money instead of the Cardinals. This week, though, so far, you've seen a decent amount of Eagles, but you've seen a lot of teaser money moving the Cardinals up to like the plus 18.5, plus 19.
I said last question, but this is going to be my last question. Have you seen a game being bet on from the NFL side of things, maybe one that you didn't expect, or maybe one that kind of just stands above the rest in terms of people coming in and, hey, I want to bet on this game or I want to bet on this certain team? Either like Dolphins, Ravens, or Steelers, Seahawks, like some of those bigger games, Packers, Vikings. Like
you're saying for this week, or
yeah, for this week.
So far for this week, we've seen actually quite a bit of money coming in on the Bills, just due to the fact that people are saying they're still alive in the AFC East.
14 on the spread, too?
Yeah, against the Patriots. A lot of people are betting that, seeing as a lot of people, after seeing the Ravens last week, a lot of people are taking the Ravens over the Dolphins. And then, considering that last game, Bills-Dolphins that way. So a lot for the Bills to play for.
All right, let's get into our picks. Favorite time of the show, we're going to do Cardinals-Eagles in both college football playoff games. The first one, we just mentioned Cardinals. 11.5-point underdog here. Eagles favored by 11.5. The over-under is at 48. Casey, what do you like in this one?
That one's a tough one. It's a lot of points, obviously, in the game. I don't expect the Cardinals to win, but with it getting up to 11.5, I expect it to close higher tomorrow. There's always that opportunity for the Cardinals to backdoor cover, so I'll take the Cardinals plus the points.
Plus the points. Ben?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to tail Casey there. I'm going to take the Cardinals as well, as I've been preaching all show, that they'll cover this game at 11.5. And I believe it'll go up even more than that. And, yes, I'll take the Cardinals to cover that all day long.
I'm going to go under because I don't really know who's in this one. 48 seems like a lot. Again, I think the Eagles can get there. I think they score like 30-something against the Giants. I just don't know what the Cardinals can score. So, for me, I'm going to go under from that standpoint. College football playoff time, boys. Bama, Michigan -2. Marco like Michigan -2. What is Casey like in this one? Over-under is at 45.
I like the under in the game. If I had to go, the side to me is really tough. I'd say bet the under. If I had to lean aside, I'm probably going to go Alabama.
Well, Alabama there with the upset. Ben?
Yeah, I'm going to take Jim Harbaugh here to win this game and win it outright and cover the spread of 2.5. Whatever it is it really closes with, I expect Blake Corum, J.J. McCarthy and company to be able to be a little too much for that Alabama defense.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ben. I'm going Michigan. I think it's their time. Michigan versus everyone at Michigan against the world. Jim Harbaugh is going to have them ready. They got an extra motivation in this one. Lastly, Texas-Washington. Texas favored by 3.5. Spread was 4.5 at one point. Goes down just a bit here. The over-unders at 63.5. Texas-Washington. What do you like, Casey?
I'm going to go under in that game as well.
Under. Okay, under's there for you. I'm going to go Washington in this one. Look, I think their passing attack is too much for Texas. Again, I think this is America's team. I think every time we doubt Washington, they blow us out of the waters. That game against Oregon, I think they got a lot of time to prepare. Give me Washington. Ben?
Easy calling Washington America's team. The new America's team is Michigan from Jim Harbaugh's mouth, as we've heard before. But all jokes aside, I do believe Washington as an underdog here. They've been told all week how good they were, how good they weren't when they were playing against Oregon as a double-digit underdog. And then going again, being a 4.5, then 3 underdog as well. Again, I'm going to take Washington here, who has nothing to lose in this game and looking to exercise those demons. I'll take them to win, cover the spread, obviously, and exercise those demons from the 2016 college football playoff in which they just got annihilated by Alabama.
Real quickly, no need to play the open there, Richie. Let's get into our locks real quick. I'm going Georgia minus 21 against Florida State. There's no shot Florida State wins this game. Casey, you might know this. We talked about it earlier. Minus 1,050 being Georgia. Is that would you say the lowest or highest spread, I guess, in a bowl game like that for the Orange Bowl, you would think? I mean, minus 1,000 is crazy.
Yeah, I would say in a bowl game like that. But, I mean, when you look at that game, we have Florida State sitting out 23 players. So, I mean, that's just the Bulls have gotten crazy with the players coming in. So, obviously, that line's very inflated basically due to that. When in the past, the players used to play. Mm-hmm. But for the way it is now, yeah, I would say that's the highest that I've ever seen.
What's your lock, Casey?
I'm going to go against my Pats this week. I'm going to take the Bills.
Bills minus 14. Ben, real quickly, you got a lock?
Yeah, I'm absolutely going to take Florida. The 49ers here, who embarrassed on Monday Night Football. Christian McCaffrey playing up against just an abysmal Commanders defense. Give me the Niners to cover, which is a lot of points, but give me them to cover 13.5 against the Commanders on the road this week.
And then, Richie, you got a lock back there in the iHeartRadio studio.
Give me the Los Angeles Rams team total over 26.5 on the road against the abysmal New York Giants.
Wow, I like that. Big Rams
plus money
fan
there, too. Plus money.
Plus money over 26.5. Well, Casey, appreciate you joining the show as always. Ben, appreciate you filling in, my brother. Always a pleasure. Last show of 2023. Wish you all a happy new year. We'll see you in 2024. For Ben, for Casey, I'm Jackson Groff. We'll see you then. Happy New Year. This is Take the Points, Fox Sports 910.
You're clear, gentlemen.